go. Welcome back to another episode of the MVP Fantasy Football and Sports Podcast. My name is Tyler Johnson, and with me, as always, is Ryan Elke. Ryan, I know that we're going to be jumping into a fun episode. Last episode, we did a mock draft where me and Ryan both drafted the same team. We were at the 10th position, and today is going to be a little bit more exciting. We're going to step up the ante. We're going to do I get my own team, he gets his own team. We're going to randomize where we're drafting, and I'll post it in the title. But we're going to mock draft against each other, and I look forward to that. We're drafting the best available team, and we're also going to hit on a few questions from the Sleeper app. We want to answer some questions about trades. There's a lot of questions going around about running backs and wide receivers, and kind of how you value and how we value those trades. So stay tuned for that. Also, we're keeping an eye throughout this podcast on the Brewers. They're down 1-0 to the Padres, who just came off a fire 4-game series. And that 4-game series was against the Rockies, where they scored a total amount of 92 runs in 4 games. Ryan, that is insane, and that is an insane modern era record.
That would have been a great series to be at over. It's in Colorado where the ball does fly, but still, man, just putting up those kind of numbers in a baseball game, that should grow the popularity just off that. You know, a lot of action, maybe too much action. Can you get too much action? I don't know. It's baseball, but that's
I'd
insane.
Be curious.
Baseball is my favorite sport, and you know what? It would have been probably it would have been awesome to witness.
Yeah, and if you were at the first game, I have a feeling that you'd want to be at the rest of them. There was 131 hits in 4 games, and Charlie Blackmon had 15 hits in 4 games. That's almost 4 hits a game. I mean, talk about
That's
being
wild.
on fire.
In MLB.
And the whole team. I mean, you're looking at over what? How many runs would it have to be each game on average? Did you look it up? It was like between like 15 and 20. It's like 20
for the 4-game set. It was 23 a game combined.
23 a game. I mean,
that's wild.
My question is, how many pitchers did they go through?
I don't even have the stats on any of that, man.
Oh my God.
You know, just seeing all that just made us want to talk about it.
Yeah,
we both are big baseball fans in real life, like off the field, on the field. So it's just something to talk about. It's something that popped out.
Yeah, and if you have the time, go and jump on YouTube and just take a look at. They probably have a montage of like all the hits.
Oh, they probably got a recap. It'd be a long recap because there's a lot of action.
So we're gonna jump right into the news. We're gonna get into our first trade question, and a lot of these are gonna be up in the air. Some people are gonna want to jump in and be like, "Oh, it's this guy right away." But the more you think about it, and we picked these out special for this episode, is that it's so close after you think about it, and the upside to injury ratio, it's up in the air. And these are some great questions, and I'll just start it off by asking the first one. We got 2 running backs, and which one you would rather have in Joe Mixon or Todd Gurley? And
before we start, like on the surface, I truly believe like most people would probably say Gurley, but we'll get into it.
Yeah. And Gurley is the one that jumps off the page. It's like, oh my God, he's the 101 from last year, and he put up insane numbers. Well, looking at
that first half of the season was literally insane. So that's gonna stick to people in their minds as well. So that might sway somebody that way.
Yeah, and you're thinking in your normal draft, of course, Gurley is going to go ahead of Joe Mixon. You have a lot of people that don't follow it as much as we do, and the people listening, but the more you think about Todd Gurley, and you kind of get our mindset of it, is he is actually down towards that Mixon area, just because of all these news articles coming out about the arthritis in the knee. I mean, I just read one, I think it was this morning, talking about how his doctor was saying that it's still a problem and it's still lingering.
I was reading something that they said that Todd Gurley might be out of his prime now because of this injury. Like he's going to be on the downfall of his career, which is... It's literally sad to even think about it because you never hear anything bad about the guy. He's probably a good guy on the surface, obviously. You don't hear any news about the guy, so you want to root for him. He's probably a good person, and just hearing stuff like that something happened to a great running back is kind of like it's just bad news. Like same when Adrian Peterson tore his ACL, like he was on the Vikings. It was a sad moment, even though he was a division rival. It was like, okay, it makes it easier for us to win, but that's an all-time great going down, and I think Todd Gurley was on his way to being an all-time great.
Yeah.
He needed a few more years of dominating, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore.
And the sad part is only being 24, 25, only having 4 seasons in the league. It's such a young guy too. He had a good 5 years of dominance if he was to continue where he left off last year. But this injury, it tacks on almost 5 years. And like they said, on this downfall now, it tacks on years onto your NFL career. And
how does an injury like that happen, though, Tyler? Do you think it was just overusing him? Because, I mean, they did pound him into the ground. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it was the injury in college because he blew out his knee in college. So
yeah.
I'm wondering is it the same knee or is it the opposite? I really don't even know, but I'm just kind of throwing out potential.
With arthritis, usually it's from a major injury and then it lingers in that joint. And it's possible from college and then just the wear and tear from all the cuts. And I know that he was took a couple of hits later in the season that knocked him out. And it could have been just, a weird hit on the knee. And it just flared up the arthritis. And now we're talking about him versus Mixon, who Mixon is that solid. And you want to know what? I would want to toss in one more running back in these two and Le'Veon Bell. I think they're all in that same.
That's fair. You can throw all 3 of them in there.
Only because people want to talk about Joe Mixon as a Le'Veon Bell type running back. And he is the reason I would take Joe Mixon over Todd Gurley is just because of the health factor. You don't want to go into a season hoping for that Todd Gurley upside that you're going to have to pay that first round, maybe early second round pick for Gurley. And I would rather just wait until like the later in the second round, mid-second round, and take a Joe Mixon. I'm not high on Joe Mixon, but this just shows how low I am on trusting Gurley.
You're definitely not high. I mean, I know you don't like Joe Mixon that much. So with you throwing Le'Veon Bell into the mix, who's your guy? Who you taking? Obviously, you're throwing Gurley out. So who's it between them two?
Looking at my rankings, I have Le'Veon Bell and Joe Mixon back to back. I got Le'Veon Bell ahead of him, and I think I would keep it that way for now. But the more I think about it, I almost would bump Mixon above Bell, but keep them right next to each other because they're in similar situations and similar runners. You got the Bengals, not that good of a offensive line and offense, and then you got the Jets, who are kind of very comparable to the Bengals. So you take the experience Le'Veon Bell has, and you've seen it from Le'Veon Bell, and I think that's what bumped it up for me. But
you're going the safe route. I mean, I'm going Joe Mixon. I really like Joe Mixon. You know, I've talked about him all year. I'm not a huge running back guy, but I would seriously consider taking him in the second round if he's there for me.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. And I know for our strategies, it really we kind of keep these guys off to the side as we draft wide receivers.
Yeah, I'm a huge RB0 guy, but it's really going to depend where I'm at here in this draft. I mean, maybe I will go back-to-back running backs for the first time in fantasy football history in, out of what, 16 years? But we will see. You know, it may happen.
The real question is just getting the right price for the player.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, what if you have like a top 5 pick and you go, let's say David Johnson, and then your pick comes in the second round and Todd Gurley's still there? Do you pass?
If you can pick up a safe running back, like a safe tier 1 running back in the first round, I think you are 100% okay to take that Todd Gurley around his PPR or a little bit below his PPR.
I think I would do that right there. Is like David Johnson and then Gurley follow. You know what I mean? I would David Johnson, Todd Gurley, and just hope.
Yeah, I mean, you hope for like a
not the best way to go about it, but it looks good on paper.
Yeah, you snag that your low tier 1 wide receiver for the third round.
Yeah, third round you could maybe get like Keenan Allen or something.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see.
Get a top third round pick, so it'd probably Keenan Allen would be around there.
Our mock draft is coming up, so we're gonna have a good idea what
just
we get.
Talking about this mock draft head to head, it brings me to the draft, like real live draft, man. I can't wait now.
Yeah, I'm
like super hyped. It's like Christmas.
So you're mixing Le'Veon Bell, Gurley. Is that yours, or are you gonna put Gurley in between?
That's my order.
Okay, so then I'm Bell, Mixon, Gurley, with the possibility of if my team's going okay, me and you would both bump Gurley.
Yeah, don't get me wrong though. I could. I'm not arguing your Bell over Mixon because I think they're very comparable, and Bell is honestly proven more. So.
Okay, well then moving on to our next question, we're gonna have almost a similar talk. We got James Conner, and then we got Damian Williams. And you think that Hyde's going to cut into Williams?
Initially, I was going to say Williams, but I'm like, wait a second. Who's the backup? Who's Conner's backup? After kind of digging into that, I kind of flipped the script on it. I think I'm going to go the safe route, which I think is James Conner.
Yeah.
Upside route, I think Damian Williams may have more. But he's a smaller guy too, which is kind of worrisome. Like, can he do the full load? And then if not, he'll be if he can't handle that, then he'll be kind of in like a 50-50 split. Because Carlos Hyde, he's still a capable running back. Like
and he showed when he was in the Browns that he's able to just get in there and hit the ground running. So
exactly, he had a great first quarter of the season start, and I remember a lot of people trading for him and actually trading away. They're getting good value for the guy, and I was one of the guys saying that's a terrible trade. Like, Carlos Hyde's going to fall off, which he did. Yeah. But at the time, everyone defended the trades for getting Carlos Hyde, which I think selling him that early season was great for the people that did.
Yeah,
but on the other hand, he's still a capable running back, so he could eat into Damian Williams' workload, and you never know. It's just a situation to monitor. We'll know more, obviously, through training camp, preseason, how he's looking, what they're going to do. You never know. The guy could get cut come start of the season, and then I take Damian Williams.
Yeah, and just like how we were talking about Mixon and Le'Veon Bell, I think that Conner and Williams are a good comparison. Williams is a little bit smaller, but they run almost the same offense again. You have a high-tempo throwing offense, and then you just think about the type of receptions these two guys are going to have the opportunity of.
They're both keys to the offense, passing, running, rushing, and receiving. So,
in like injury, a lot of people, when you listen to fantasy football experts talk about injury and how you forget about it, because what if, and I think that you really have to keep an eye on injuries. People go into draft just like zone out injuries, just pick the player, but really you have to think about it with James Conner. I'm a huge Steelers fan, but when it comes to running backs, I feel like you have to keep an eye out for people that sat out previous seasons. And if you're up against two people that are very equal, and Damian Williams, he looked good. It just depends. I guess my mindset would be who had the worst injury / time away, and how did the coaching staff prepare for that? It's hard. I think I would take James Conner to go against that, just because of him being me being a Steeler fan, and having that confidence in James Conner. But Damian Williams, I'm really high on Damian Williams also. So I guess I could check and see where I have them on my list. Yeah, I have them back to back. I have James Conner at 7 and Williams at 8. So
you gotta understand, our lists are a little outdated. We're 2-3 weeks outdated. These lists change, every couple weeks. Here
they're gonna
here
completely
there, a couple
change
guys will flip.
Closer.
So I don't want people like, oh, why would you say you want him, but 3 weeks ago you took him over him by one pick? It's like, it changes. Certain information comes out, and that does sway all of that, the whole process. So
and keep listening.
That's why once a month we want to bring up our rankings again.
Yeah, and the rankings, I look at them and I kind of see where I have people, but it's more of just a general idea of what I was thinking at the time. And keep an eye out, because as we get closer to draft, we're going to be putting out our Excel sheets. We're doing I think we're going all the way up to top 200, and we're going to constantly,
top 200,
we're going to constantly update them. And we just want to let everybody know what our thoughts are, and you'll be able to use them for your draft. And just listen if you like them. Leave us a comment, subscribe. We're everywhere, and I'll talk about it at the end of the podcast, and it's in the show notes. But yeah, just looking at our updated trades that we have is the next one. Are you good with that, Ryan? Who would you take? You said Damian Williams?
No, I got Conner.
Okay, I would take James Conner as well. But it's very close. Damian
very
Williams
close.
Huge
upside. I would not be mad to have either one, but just in that situation, I'm going Conner.
All right, and then this last one, Ryan's throwing a right hook, picking out this.
This one's tough, but I'm actually going to go against the grain here, and what I usually would do. I'm usually the guy getting the star player, as I would go for. But in this trade, I'm going
Give the trade, Ryan. Let me hear it.
This trade is: would you trade Tyreek Hill for Kerryon Johnson and Cortland Sutton?
In a normal world, that looks like what are you thinking? It's like another Todd Gurley situation where you see Tyreek Hill and it's like, you're talking about the number one wide receiver last year, and then Todd Gurley would have been the number one. I'm not sure if he ended up at the number one running back, but Tyreek Hill and this suspension that is looming, possibly, most likely, you think of trades like this. Do you want to take this trade now, and then all of a sudden Tyreek Hill gets suspended and dropped off the team and it looks like an all-star move? Or all of a sudden it gets closer? We're talking about when you're able to trade with, like, let's say, not dynasty keepers, or dynasty, I guess you could say. Would you trade Tyreek Hill with the question mark for a capable Kerryon Johnson and a up-and-coming Courtland Sutton?
See, that's the thing, Tyler, is even without the suspension looming, I think I would still do it. I think I would still do it. I can't confirm at this very second, but I'm leaning towards saying yes, that I would do it and take Kerryon's my dude. Obviously, everyone should know that by now. I love Kerryon Johnson. I'm a huge Lions fan. And Courtland Sutton, even though he had huge hype last year when they traded Demaryius, he really didn't do as much as everyone thought he would, which might push people away from it. But just another year. I think he's a second-year receiver.
Yeah.
He was a rookie last year, right?
Yep.
So second-year receiver. I think he'll be more confident. He knows he's the number one guy there. It's Emmanuel Sanders, but he's got a lot of injury problems too. But obviously he's going to be a huge target. Maybe not the number one guy, but he's a huge target there. And I think his upside is pretty big. So I would probably do the trade. It's a gamble, definitely a gamble. It's not my type of trade usually, but for my boy Kerryon and just solidifying that running back position, because I truly believe he's going to be really, really good this year. Even with CJ Anderson there, Kerryon Johnson, he's going to showcase himself this year.
Yeah, and you want to know what? Talking in a dynasty sense, it's nice to have that rookie Courtland Sutton coming into that Demaryius role, and then you have that rookie Kerryon Johnson. I'm saying very young Kerryon Johnson, he's been injured, but he's going to be a workhorse for a Lions team
he said he wanted to. That's why he was working out so much this offseason, because he wants to prove that he can be a workhorse running back.
Yeah. And
the league I'm guessing the league kind of hit him by storm, and he wasn't prepared for all the dings you're going to get while you're running, and the longer season than college. So
yeah,
just something like that. He changed his mindset. He started to dig deep, and he took this seriously, and he wants to show the Lions that he was worth the pick.
Yeah, and looking at that also, Kerryon Johnson was a big help in the receiving game. He had close to 40 targets, and that's 40 targets in 7 games starting. So if you're going to get a full season out of him, and let's say you get 80 targets to a running back, you know how high he's going to jump up in the final running back rankings, especially in like half and full point PPR. I mean, you get a full season out of Kerryon, and you're looking at a top 10 running back coming from Detroit, where Detroit's not going to be that good of a team.
Hey, chill out, man. Everyone's already writing him off.
And then Courtland Sutton going into his second year, he's get a whole offseason. No Demaryius. You have Emmanuel probably going to be still in the slot, always in the slot. So Sutton's that big body, 50% catch percentage last year. He played a full 16 games, started 9 of them. And, I mean, you can't ask for much. He had 700 yards and 4 touchdowns. Let's just say he now starts the season game 1, plays 16. I think you can be very, very happy. And especially Flacco throwing him the ball. You look at Flacco.
That's another thing, Flacco. I mean,
he was airing it out to Brown, and Brown was a stud wide receiver, I mean, for the first half of the season. So
man. I traded him real high.
yeah, and then he just fell off like a freaking brick off a building. But
it's a good one to say it.
So I think that for me, if it's a healthy Tyreek Hill and no suspension looming, I would still keep Tyreek Hill just because you have Patrick Mahomes, you have that Chiefs offense, and it's hard. I'd say this is a pretty even trade. I would try to go for more with Tyreek Hill if he was healthy going into the season, no suspension. I would look for more. But with the suspension looming, and I think Ryan's the same way, I would take the deal. and go with Johnson and Sutton and still be happy for my future and let somebody else worry about that headache. You're going with another Le'Veon Bell saga, but with Tyreek Hill. And you don't want that on your team unless you're able to take that risk. You good to go, Ryan? Are we
Yeah,
are we ready to go head
I'm
up?
hyped. I want to do this. I want to see what I think I'm gonna actually go with my.
No, don't pick a strategy. You can't.
We gotta see. I can't do the strategy right now. I gotta see what pick I get.
All right. Well, if anyone wants to vote on who's got the best team at the end of this, the only way we can do it right now is through YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and turn the bell on so you get notifications. But in the comment section, let us know which one of us you think won this draft. I mean, we're going to go into it picking our own guys. We don't know what our draft number is going to be. And we'll see. We'll post them. And just let us know what you think. So, going into the draft.
I got an idea, Tyler. I think like come August, where fantasy football is really heating up and a lot of mock drafts are going on, we should do some of these sleeper mock drafts on Twitch. I mean, we could honestly, you could even jump into live, me and you both in the same mock draft on Yahoo against 8 other people.
Yeah, I would literally sit down, come more draft time, and then have a chunk of like 2 hours, and me and you just kind of keep knocking out mock drafts next in the same Twitch doing mock drafts, and then have just people stick around and listen and watch to
questions, and they could be suggestions and all that stuff. I think it would be pretty fun.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. It's a great idea.
You can answer questions, in the chat while we're doing the mock drafts, and it could be kind of like an impromptu show.
Okay, I like it. Well, let's hit this intro. Kind of got a little quick intro to our draft. All right, let's get ready to rumble. I am going to go to draft settings, and I'm going to randomize our order, and then we will be off. Ryan, kind of talk to him about what you think of doing mock drafts, what you're looking for, and kind of your mindset going into a mock draft.
Mock drafts are solely for making a strategy. So you want to, in the end, when you're done all mock draft out, you want to be drafting from every position. You want to draft every single position in the draft, 1 through 12, 1 through 10, whatever you're playing. You want to do that just so you can get an eye on like what's going to be there when you pick and come up with a strategy like that. That's how you prepare for the draft.
I think
that's too many people. Yeah, man. There's just too many people that, we don't need a mock draft. I know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
And sure, you can be as cocky as you want, but in the end, the person that does this here, like research, drafting 1 through 12, the percentage is in their favor to come out with a better team. I don't care if you've been playing 15 years. Let's say it's a 15-year vet with a third-year guy, third-year receiver guy, you know what I'm saying? Breakout year. So that's basically what you can compare it to. It's a third-year guy. He's going to break out this year because he did all the research. He did all the mock drafts. He listened to podcasts. He did as much research as possible, and that's the guy that I'm taking that guy. I don't care if you're the 15-year vet. I want that guy. He was prepared.
Yep, I 100% agree. And he makes a great point on when you go into mock drafts, your mindset should be looking where people go and what other people's mindsets are. Because if you know that, Le'Veon Bell and Joe Mixon kind of fall to this end of the second round, you can kind of play around with who you're drafting, and then you kind of know where people are and what risks you can take. You don't want to all of a sudden draft a Stephon Diggs in the, let's say, third round, and he's projected to go early fourth, and you're possibly going to get him. You just got to keep your eyes open on where people are drafting, and then over time, when you do enough mock drafts, it's like second nature. You're doing it with your friends who don't know what they're doing, and you can see right away when someone makes a pick, and it's like, what is he doing? But then again, and he doesn't. So
that's the thing. Like I say, draft in every position, but draft multiple times from each position. So wait till you 8 times from the one spot, and you finally, like, 5th try, you're like, man, I really like this team. Where the other 4 times before that, you're like, it's not that good. So what you do is develop that strategy, and then you stick with it. So if you get the number 1 pick going into your draft, boom, you already know what you're doing. Like, you have a great bookmark, like you have a blueprint on what you're going to do. And that's the exact same thing. You take that concept for every pick. So how I explain, like say you had the one, but pretend you have all the, like every single spot you are prepared. You got the blueprint, what you're going to do. Now, every league, you're going to have the curveballs, which usually the curveballs honestly help you because they're reaching for a guy. So now you actually get better value at this pick. So that's just, you automatically just do it. Like I already know this is great value. You do it. And just draft them from every position multiple times. That's why you spend your whole month of August mock drafting.
Yeah, and we'll have an episode kind of talking about drafting. But Ryan, did you see where you landed? It turned out extremely even. So we got we got Ryan at the 6th spot, and then we have me at the 8. So he's drafting one.
I like it because that's going to allow me to go receiver here.
It's going to be super even. So we're going to start it off right now. I'm going to hit begin draft, and we'll see. All right, and pick number 1, Alvin Kamara. That is an interesting pick. You think Saquon Barkley. And then number 2 is Ezekiel Elliott, and then Saquon Barkley, David Johnson at the 4, and Christian McCaffrey at the 5. So that leaves you with a pretty easy pick, in my opinion. But who do we have, Ryan, at the 6?
I'm over here debating, but I have to go with my boy. I got to go DeAndre Hopkins.
All right, you are on the clock. Sorry, I had it paused.
Oh, thank you. I was wondering. I'm like, I can't draft him.
Bear with us, you guys. We got this going. The first wide receiver off the board at the 6, DeAndre Hopkins. I would have did the same. I would have been so excited to get that pick. And Melvin Gordon goes right after. So we have 6 running backs and only 1 wide receiver. So I'm looking at
your boy Le'Veon's on the board.
Look at this. You have Le'Veon Bell and Mixon right next to each other. I will not touch those in the first round.
Come on.
My choice is between Devontae Adams, Michael Thomas, and Julio Jones.
Your boy is Julio.
And, I mean, I have Devontae Adams and Michael Thomas. Where do I have him? Devontae Adams. I have to pick Devontae Adams. He's a stud, and he is going to be on my team. So I picked up Devontae Adams. My thought process was Michael Thomas is great. And Julio's great. It would probably have been Julio, and Michael Thomas is around 4 or 5 in my rankings. So next pick, Joe Mixon off the board. Then Michael Thomas. There you go. Michael Thomas is the 3rd wide receiver. Julio Jones, like we were thinking.
Waiting for him to come back to you.
Oh, no way he was
Odell better get taken before it comes to you.
Then it goes Juju. Then Le'Veon Bell at the 201. And then you have Travis Kelce, the first tight end off the board at the 202. Antonio Brown before Odell. Odell Beckham goes. And then now it's on me.
Before you.
You
took Chubb?
Okay,
accidental. Okay.
It's on Odell. So I'm looking at the board here, top players. We got James Conner, Todd Gurley, Dalvin Cook, Damian Williams, Mike Evans. Man, let me tell you, this is a hard pick because I normally like to pick up a couple stud wide receivers here, and I'm scared because I know if I don't take Mike Evans, Ryan's probably going to take Mike Evans when it gets to him. And I got to keep that in mind.
See, this is another thing, man. Being in a league for 10 years with the same people, they know what you are going to do every time.
And like
it's another obstacle.
And like we were telling people, look at Todd Gurley is sitting right here, and he is right next to like James Conner, and Damian Williams is there. Oh my goodness, Dalvin Cook. I mean, I'm looking down the list a little bit. I'm looking at my rankings. There's a lot of good wide receivers that still could wrap around to me if Ryan doesn't freaking take one of them again and go 3 wide receivers. That would be rough. You want to know what? I'm going to go, like we were telling people, if you, man.
My pick in your spot is, I'm serious, it's Todd Gurley or James Conner. Like,
I know. That's what I'm thinking.
If I had your pick right now, because Mike Evans, I think, is a little too early with James Conner on the board and RB1 and Todd Gurley. I mean, you never know how his season is going to go. Todd Gurley, let's see.
Yeah,
safe pick, man. It's not a safe pick, but it's a good pick for the second round.
And then Damian Williams goes right after Todd Gurley.
Now they threw a curveball at me because James Conner is sitting here.
Yep. And James Conner's above in our rankings. James Conner is above Gurley, but after drafting Devontae Adams right there, I feel like I could get a good running back later in the draft to help me out, just in case Todd Gurley's not there.
And this is pretty wild because I really did want to take Mike Evans. You knew what I was thinking. But this curveball, James Conner's still here. Like, this is what I'm talking about, guys. James Conner, I don't believe should be on the board right now in the middle of the second round. He should have went.
But do you want to go into the season as James Conner as your one? I mean,
Yeah,
it looks good.
I would take that. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, James Conner, and then probably going receiver in the third.
Yep. You're looking at the receivers coming around you in the third, you're going
I
to
never
have
do
Keenan
this.
Allen.
I never do this, but in this situation, I think I have to.
Yeah, like
James Conner's the guy.
He went James
I'm
Conner.
taking him. Yep.
And then there goes Mike Evans.
It was Dalvin Cook, Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb to round out the second round. T.Y. Hilton, first quarterback, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
All my
Patrick
guys
Mahomes
are being
301.
Jacked right now. Not good.
Yep. There they all go.
Oh,
hey,
man.
and like we're telling people, look at what happens at the end of the second, early third. You have five wide receivers.
This
and
is
only
really why I wanted to go receiver, because my RB1 would have been carry on, and I would have been so happy with that.
Yeah, because you're looking at, okay, so it's Ryan's pick right now. What running backs you have on the board that you're looking at over what wide receiver you would have had Mike Evans? So let's say you took Mike Evans. What running backs are you looking at right now?
I would have definitely took carry on right here, and without question. And my team would have been Hopkins, Evans, carry on, which is actually probably gonna be better than what I'm gonna do here.
Oof, yeah. And you have, let's say we have Marlon Mack here. I mean, you can. You can't really think of Zach Ertz. It's still too early, and there's too many good people on the board.
Yeah,
your next good wide receiver, I mean, are you going to take A.J. Green? And
see, that's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. Other running backs, you have Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs, Carry-On, and Derrick Henry. He went Carry-On. Holy
Carry-On's
cow.
the pick, boys.
Ryan with a double RB.
That's wild. I don't know what to do. I'm rattled, man.
Yep, we got him on his toes.
This is why you mock early. I am literally rattled right now.
it's my
you don't want to be like this on draft day.
Oh, man. Okay, so what I'm thinking here, I kind of want to go... Oh, I could get another good running back, though. Let me look a little bit further. There's good running backs down there and a few good wide receivers.
The more I think about it, I do like my team, though. It's a very solid team. Hopkins, Connor, and Kerryon Johnson. I think.
And I got Devontae Adams, Todd Gurley, and I'm really thinking about either an A.J. Green, Stephon Diggs wide receiver pickup. I'm going to kind of shoot over to what I statted them out for. Hilton and Thielen. I mean, I got Brandon Cooks pretty high and A.J. Green right next to him, and Brandon Cooks is further down. Stephon Diggs is right there. Oh, man, this is a hard pick, but you want to know what? I'm just going to go for... I have a solid Devontae Adams. Do I want to take an upside in Stephon Diggs? I'm going to take A.J. Green. I'm still going to take him because last year he was looking great until he got injured, and a lot of people completely write him off just because of the injury. I think you have to remember that he was having a great season, and if he comes back to that form, you're going to see another great wide receiver out on the field. So a lot of running backs just went off the board. You have Mac Jacobs, Jones, Henry, Montgomery, and Ingram.
You ended up taking A.J. Green, huh? Like, man, I did want to. Trust me, I did want to take that, but I already told myself before this year I'm not taking A.J. Green. Like,
I know. I got that same thought process, but I took with Devontae Adams, a safe wide receiver, just like you had Hopkins.
AJ Green is your what? I mean, look at that though. You're living on the edge here. Todd Gurley, AJ Green. I feel like this pick right now for you needs to be the safest pick as possible.
Like a Robert Woods.
That's not bad.
Julian
I know. Edelman, Robert Woods, something along them lines. Like you really need someone to hold it down for you.
Yep.
Either one of them guys is the guy. Like literally, that's those two guys are probably your safest picks.
And it's hard because I am looking. If it was a wide receiver, it is in between Edelman. I have Edelman a little bit higher than Cooks. Philip Lindsay, another solid. Oof. And then
George Kittle fell here to me in this round. I would have taken him.
Really?
Yeah.
Drop into the fourth round. Yeah. Okay, you want to know what? I'm gonna make my pick here, and I'm gonna live or die with some of these running backs coming back to me, and I'm gonna take. Oh my goodness! I have Brandon Cooks pretty high in my rankings. I'm taking Brandon Cooks.
I like the pick.
And you want to know what? It's another scary pick.
Oh no!
Oh, the Tyreek Hill. Oh, I should have just taken
Tyreek.
I couldn't though. I couldn't with the
I had the team to do it.
Movie.
I feel like I have 3 safe players. Tyreek would have been great for me right here. It would have been great. Oh man!
So everyone, listen. You have Tyreek Hill, middle of the 4th round. He just went. That's how scared people are, and that's a number 1 wide receiver last year. So. Nothing's safe. You got Gurley going in the middle of the 2nd, so
Gosh, dude.
Exciting. These are exciting times. I mean, I
Julian
went Brandon
Edelman
Cooks.
right here.
Yeah, let us know what you're thinking.
I don't know what I'm thinking. It's Edelman or Robert Woods, I feel. I mean, my boy Kenny G is there, which I would love to take, but I can't have Carry-On and Kenny G right now on the Lions offense. That might not be the greatest.
Yeah,
I can't let my homerism ever come into play. Don't let that take over.
Yeah, because
that's my favorite team. So I'm drafting them all. Like, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
They look good in your uniform, but on a fantasy team, you can't pile them on like that.
What? You know what we should have done? What's our roster positions? We have a flex. We got 3 receivers or 2 in this one.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell everybody. We got a quarterback. We got 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, which could be a wide receiver, running back, or tight end. We got rid of the kicker, and we got rid of the defense, and I'm pretty sure I did 5 on the bench. So we're going to go a little bit deep, but we have the time to do it, and we'll just kind of keep talking over our thoughts, what we're doing, when we're going to take these players, and so far, I'm liking my team. A little risky but we'll grab some solid players in the middle of this draft.
See, now this is exactly how the first mock draft is going. Like, this is literally how it should be going. You're not as prepared as you want to be. You have second thoughts. You're overthinking everything, and this is exactly why I do mock drafts. Because if this was my real life draft right now, I would be so rattled. My team is not bad. I actually am confident in my team. But I didn't come in with the best strategy, so that's why you do these. And I'm gonna go.
Or your strategy took a right turn on you. And
now
exactly. You see what kind of drops to you.
James Conner, because he fell to me, but I just said before this draft that curveballs will happen, and most of the time it should help you. But this one actually kind of rattled me that James Conner was there because it threw off my whole game plan.
Yeah,
but that's okay. We're gonna take a safe receiver here in Julian Edelman, PPR guy. Gronk is gone. It's him and Sonny Michel there. And I think Julian Edelman, if he stays healthy, is going to be a PPR beast. So I'm content with that pick.
And so we're seeing it's back on Ryan. Philip Lindsay went right afterwards. Of course, the running back we were looking at. Kenny G, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Sonny Michel. And then you have Calvin Ridley. Here's where you're kind of getting into your wide receivers where it's up in the air.
I mean, Calvin Ridley and Tyler Lockett are both in this round right here, so it's kind of...
Yeah. Andrew Luck went in this round, so we have 2 quarterbacks and 3 tight ends.
We're getting to the dicey situations, we can call it, because
James White.
That's what all these picks are right now.
Chris Carson, and now it's Ryan on the clock.
My pick now...
Oh, man, I see some players I should...
Here's where I'm going. So Aaron Rodgers is here on the board. He will not be in any of our drafts. We are from Wisconsin. People love Aaron Rodgers. He is going to be in the first 3 rounds no matter what.
Yep, and I'm not taking him
So I'm leaving him off the board here, but in another league with random people, I think Aaron Rodgers, it'd be so hard not to take him here. I'm going to pass. It would be a hard pass if I were to pass, but I see a guy on the board here that I really do like. I'm going to take Jarvis Landry as my wide receiver 3.
Oh my goodness, sir. And just so people know, there was so many good wide receivers right there that it makes me feel bad that I already have 3, and getting to this 5th round, I mean, you're looking at Chris Godwin, Sammy Watkins. I mean, Mike Williams is a big wide receiver. Tyler Boyd is going to be good. I mean, I would have rather came into this round with 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs like Ryan had, because it was probably more of a comfortable pick for this 5th round. So
yeah, I can see where you're coming from right now, because right now is the time where you probably would have wanted to take in a receiver, but I mean,
looking at the running backs on the board,
and you have just Todd Gurley right now. So do you want to flex a wide receiver right now, or do you want to get some backup to Todd Gurley? That you're in a tough situation here.
Yeah,
I mean, you could just throw the curveball and go OJ Howard, but I mean, it's a little early. I think you'd have to secure a running back here.
No way, no how. And you're saying running back, but I'm looking at the people after me, and they're pretty running back heavy, except for the one guy on the 110.
Yeah,
I'm looking at Godwin and Watkins, and I really like grabbing.
Gonna go running back.
I'm liking grabbing one of these wide receivers right now but Williams could get back to me. Okay, you want to know what this? I'm gonna go. I was gonna pick the Tariq Cohen, the dinosaur hunter, as they call him.
That game was awesome.
Oh my goodness! You want to know what? I'm gonna take Sammy Watkins. I'm gonna do it.
Dude, that was my next pick if he came back.
Sammy Watkins over Godwin, over Mike Williams. I have
We talked
4
up
wide
Godwin
receivers
like
now.
the next Fitzgerald. Well, I mean, that's what they wanted to compare him to. But yeah, I like your pick. Sammy Watkins was your guy right there.
Oh my goodness. Can you believe Aaron Rodgers going in the 6th round?
I mean, with his season last year, I could see it. It's just not going to happen around here. Not in
No.
Wisconsin, but in a
I feel like every draft, I don't see
unbiased
it
draft,
happening.
I think he'll 5th round probably.
Okay, let's look at the running backs on the board. We have Darius Geis. A lot of people are taking him high. Oh my God, his potential is insane, but I see him as more of like an 8th, 9th round to take the chance like you're going to with Geis.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at Darrell Henderson. Oh my God, why would a Rams running back be right next to Todd Gurley? Okay, so I'm in kind of a hurt situation here. I'm looking a little bit further in the board where I can draft maybe some of these running backs. I'm looking at Lamar Miller. I think Lamar Miller is a very safe pick for just kind of that no
He'll never
upside.
ever be like that high end 2, but he can live in the mid to low end 2 running back all year.
And you're
which
looking
is-
at him being all the way down at I'm stuck in a position right now to where I pretty much have to take him. I mean, I don't have to take anybody, but he's not going to make it back to me, and I feel like he's the next safe pick for running back before we start getting into even more reaching. So I'm going to take Lamar Miller here. Unfortunately, there's a lot better picks with wide receiver, so kind of something to put in the back of my mind to note and use later on. So Ryan's up,
Okay.
Tyler Boyd in between.
I'm on the
us.
clock. I'm really, 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 really high on Hunter Henry here, and he is the top guy on the board. But
Okay. 6th
I'm
round.
gonna, yeah, it's just too early. I'm gonna take an upside pick here. I have 3 receivers and 2 running backs. We're gonna even it out. I'm gonna go with Darius Geis here.
Darius Geis, yeah. See, like we were talking about it all comes down to his playing time, and there's a lot of running backs in Washington. So, I'm sorry, not you have Adrian Peterson there, and they just signed him for what, 2 years? So
Yeah, 2 year, $8 million. I mean, he'll play. He said he wants to run for 2K again, which I don't see happening at all. But I guess you never know.
it's the will of the running back. I mean, AP is a freak. I see him getting the ball a lot, but Darius Geis is ready to take that rock over, and he could be a really good pick.
I feel, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Darius Geis could be a great pick for me here. I don't have much of an injury concern on my team here, so that's kind of leading me to think about Will Fuller here.
I mean, look at Allen Robinson all the way in the
that's my next is
7th,
between Allen
8th
Robinson and Will Fuller here. Eric Ebron actually crossed my mind.
I mean, what are your thoughts on Kareem Hunt if you ever get later in the rounds? Do you think Kareem Hunt is
it matters
worth
where he's
drafting?
going. I'm not touching Kareem Hunt until probably like round 10.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I'm
just-
thinking too.
It's just not worth it. It's not worth it for me. If you're still in the playoff hunt and he comes back week 9 when I think it's 8-game suspension.
Yeah, but
I don't know when their bye is right now. I didn't do all that kind of research at the moment.
yeah.
All that goes in you want to look at all bye weeks too. Just to see like on a suspension like that, if he suspended 8 games and their bye week is week 10, dude, it's like you're gonna get this guy for 4 games for your regular season. I just don't think that's worth it. It's a guy that I probably wouldn't even draft. So that's going to go into account. What's your take on that, Tyler?
It's such a rock on your team. I mean, you're coming from a guy that had Bell on my team the entire season last year, thinking, oh, he's going to come back. That spot is so valuable that you don't want to have a spot just grayed out on your bench for 8 to 10 weeks of playing. I mean, anytime, really. You want to have all your players able to either be dropped or put into your roster. So having that one guy, there's very few people that are worth it to keep a hold on to where if they came back, it would be a game changer. But 8 weeks is just insane to keep somebody for.
Yeah, and another, I guess, what
I
pops
think it was
in
week 10 he
in
would
my
come back.
mind here is Mark Ingram last year suspended the first 4 games. So he came back week 5. I'm pretty sure they had a bye week 6. So the second game you got out of him was already week 7. And he was going in the top, 4, 5, 6, somewhere around there. I just felt like
The value you got
waste
for
that
him.
draft capital on that just to get
Exactly.
couple games out of him that's not even guaranteed. I mean, he played pretty well, and I think he paid off, but it's just a gamble like that. If you start slow to your year, you're forced to trade this guy. People know you're in last place, and you're desperate to move him. You're not going to get what you want, and you just wasted a 4th, 5th round pick.
Exactly.
You have to look into all that kind of stuff. Kareem Hunt, I'm not touching him unless he's a double-digit round. Yeah, he's a game-changing running back, but
it sounds like you're tilting on your pick, Ryan. You don't know who you're going right here.
With my pick, yeah, this is tough. It is. I'm 3-3 right now. 3 wide receivers, 3 running backs. I would love to get another running back here, but I would have to reach to get anyone of value right now.
That's what I see too.
So between Eric Ebron we're gonna go between Allen Robinson and Eric Ebron. We're gonna go with Allen Robinson. I think he showed flashes last year what he can do. He's a good receiver, and I think another year working with Trubisky, he's only going to get a little better. So I think that's a good pick for me.
Yeah, I like the pick also. I would have taken Allen Robinson as well. Will Fuller just went right afterwards.
Okay, and that was another guy I was looking at. So Allen Robinson would man my flex over my previous pick, Darius Geis. Darius Geis would hit my bench, and he would be a wait and see.
Yep. All right, it's on to me. I have 4 wide receivers, 2 running backs. One of the running backs being Todd Gurley, so I have to be mindful of that. I'm looking at the running backs on the board right now, and it's a little sweaty because I think the next person, I have Miles Sanders up there. I'm not going to touch Miles Sanders this
I'm going to pause you, Tyler. I don't want to be cocky, but I think I got you as of now. I don't want to be in the situation you're in. You have Todd Gurley and Lamar Miller. AJ Green as your wide receiver too. Obviously, he could be great, but it's kind of scary. Your group of wide receivers could carry you. Yeah. Adams, Green, Cooks, and Watkins for sure could carry you. And if Todd Gurley came back to Todd Gurley, I mean, you have a very good team. But I just don't like your depth behind Todd Gurley. Lamar Miller doesn't cut it for me. He, like I said, at best, he's an RB2. I don't think he has much upside. But he is like your safe, give me 8 to 10 points a game guy, which, some people can, that's fine. I think you were in the position that you kind of had to take him right there. So it made sense. And you backed him up with Latavius Murray.
Yep, so I'm taking Latavius Murray here, backing up Kamara. You kind of hope that he's going to be in that Ingram role going into next season. And for me, it's kind of the most safe bet off the board. I mean, Miles Sanders was there. He just came back from having kind of an injury off the sidelines. And Ronald Jones, I mean, you can't even mess with Ronald Jones right now until you hear more news. And Kareem Hunt was there, and I don't have the depth. I need somebody who's playing game 1, and like we talked about, Kareem Hunt. So N'Keal Harry was there. He just went off the board. Dante Pettis, of course, I was looking at Dante Pettis also, but I was kind of stuck in that situation where I needed another running back, and I couldn't afford for Latavius Murray to go off the board. I'm looking at Royce Freeman, Jordan Howard, Jarrett McKinnon. This is kind of the group you're getting into around the 8th round. So we have 6 picks left. And I'm thinking with my lineup right now, I'm 4-3, 3 running backs to 4 wide receivers. I'm going to be playing that wide receiver in my flex. And I think I'm going to, it's a hard one because if I had another decent running back, I'd be able to take more of a flyer on like a Jarrett McKinnon. I mean, Jordan Howard, what type of workload is Jordan Howard going to get? He wasn't that exciting last year, and he has more competition going into Philadelphia. That's a hard pick to make. Royce Freeman. I mean, there's really no... I'm sitting here sweating because there's really nobody on the board
that's a game changer at this moment, I feel.
Exactly. Or like I have to take that
standout. There's no standout for you right now.
Yeah, so... I think I'm looking at the wide receivers. I mean, Geronimo Allison's out there. Of course, I like Geronimo, especially if he's the 2. But I have Devontae Adams, so that kind of blocks me there. I'm going to take the flyer on Jarrett McKinnon.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I'm sorry,
that was my pick. Good pick. A good pick.
I mean,
look at me off because there's no running backs really right here that I can take. Royce Freeman, maybe, but he's just not gonna cut it, man. He's old school. He's the old school type running back. He's not going to get me those fantasy points. He needs a touchdown to even get me relevant points.
Yeah, and you're talking about Jerick McKinnon. He was going very early when he was healthy in drafts, and having Todd Gurley. I mean, Todd Gurley's going to start game 1. Lamar Miller's going to start game 1. I can start those two guys, and I can also look at what I have in Jerick McKinnon. And picking him up in the 8th round and possibly him being a lead running back in San Francisco with all them running backs, there's a lot of injuries going around. I think that Jerick McKinnon has the opportunity, especially it's almost a no risk around the 8th, 9th, 10th round to pick up Jerick McKinnon, just because you're kind of stashing him on your bench. If he turns out to be a starter, you either trade him for value or you use him over a Lamar Miller or a Latavius Murray. So, Ryan, good pick. I was thinking that as well. Looking at it, I'm like, well, if he comes around in the 9th, I would have taken him. So,
yeah, he's the main option there behind
Golden Tate.
He's behind Evan Ingram. So Golden Tate's on the board. Or my guy, he's my wide receiver 5. So I am pretty happy with my wide receiver core here. I have DeAndre Hopkins, Julian Edelman, Jarvis Landry, Allen Robinson, Golden Tate. And we do start 3 receivers and a flex. So Golden Tate is on my bench, which I can definitely live with that. I do like that.
And, I mean, he's obviously going to be playing from the slot. You have 2 quarterbacks in New York that aren't going to throw the ball deep. They're just going to keep throwing it off to their average of what – I forget what Eli's average was last year, but I think it was like within 5 yards, like – I don't know. His average depth of pass was around 3.5, I thought. So, he could be a big deal. They signed him for. They spent a lot of money on Golden Tate, and I was looking for him to come back in the 9th round, and I would have picked him up right after Jerick McKinnon. So, it was a good pick. We have kind of the same mindset when it goes in. So, what is your idea now?
All right, my idea now is, see. Right now, I would want to take an upside running back, but I just don't, at this moment, I don't see anything. Maybe Devin Singletary's not a bad upside pick right here for Buffalo, because I don't think Shady McCoy is that good anymore. So they're going to be looking for their next guy, which he might get great opportunity. But
I mean, I don't think that he would be off the board unless I took him, but coming back in your 10th round, I don't think he would be gone. Just as a mindset of if I wasn't listening.
No, for sure. I agree with you. So I think at this pick, so I have 3 running backs. It's going to be James Conner, Kerryon Johnson, Darius Geis. I truly believe like 2 out of those 3 are going to be good. I think I'm going to go and lock up my handcuff actually behind James Conner. So I'm going to take Jalen Samuels here. I'm just going to go safe. And I'd rather have Jalen Samuels here than Jordan Howard, Royce Freeman, Austin Eckler, Ito Smith, Carlos Hyde, Devonta Foreman. I went that way to secure it. So if one of them gets hurt, I'm going to have the starting running back in Pittsburgh. And you saw last year, at the end of the year, Jalen Samuels, I believe he was on a lot of championship rosters. He did very well down the stretch while James Conner was hurt. So some people might say it's a wasted pick, but I just didn't see major upside right here for this pick. There was a few receivers here I would have taken. Corey Davis, Marvin Jones. I think Corey Davis would have been a good pick, but I'm deep at receiver. I have 5, so I think I'm settled on Jalen Samuels. I think it was a good pick for me.
Okay, so then after you went Jordan Howard, and my mindset here, as you were talking, I was kind of looking it over. I have 4 running backs, 3 wide receivers. It's time for me to kind of take my backup wide receiver, and I'm almost looking at back-to-back picks here for wide receiver. I'm looking at Corey Davis.
Yep.
Marvin Jones, and Courtland Sutton.
You're taking 2 out of 3. I agree with you on that.
And I think Courtland Sutton is my pick here. And really, if more of these guys get picked, I'm okay with taking Deshaun Jackson in the 10th round because I like Deshaun Jackson's potential.
He's motivated. He's back. He's got something to prove. He wants to get a ring too, man. They got a ring without him.
And he's back in there. And the people are picking Mecole Hardman. Because
he has potential, man. He could be pretty good.
And you should have handcuffed him. Did you take? Oh no, you didn't take Tyreek Hill. You
can't handcuff receivers.
Everyone thinks that he's going to be kind of the Tyreek Hill in that situation with
It's gonna
Hill
take
being
a lot for
out.
him to get used to the offense and stuff. So we'll see.
So you're trying to take that one guy. So
Corey Davis,
man. So you have so I have a good pick here.
I was gonna take Corey Davis if he was there when I went.
Marvin Jones is still up there, and I was wishing that he got taken, so I didn't have to make the decision
So you
between
could take
Marvin
Deshaun?
Jones and Deshaun Jackson. I mean, James Washington, if you want to take that Pittsburgh, who's going to be that Pittsburgh?
Oh, that's our guy. Remember we said remember him. Put a flag on him to highlight him.
And this is going to be my last pick because then I have tight end, quarterback. Oh no, I got 2 more picks. So I got 2 picks, then it's going to be a quarterback, tight end. I'm looking at wide receiver. Let me go look at the running backs. Who's there? You got AP. AP's there. Did Ryan have? Oh yeah, you had Darius Geis. You're probably thinking AP right now, I bet, because you want that handcuff as well. Ooh, and you were also talking about Singletary. It's hard. It's hard. You want to know what I'm going to? And then looking at wide receivers, really, there's people down the list. So I'm going to pick a running back here because I look at the wide receivers down the list. But I can't pass up on.
There's upside receivers down the list, that's for sure. I'm looking at a lot here.
You know what? I'm just going to stick to my plan. I like Deshaun Jackson. I was going to pick him. Welcome to the squad. I picked him over a few people that it'd be surprising, like Marvin Jones. But he didn't do much last year. I'm picking the upside when it comes to Deshaun Jackson. And, of course, Ryan picks Marvin Jones.
I went Marvin, starving Marvin, baby. It's my wide receiver 6. I do not need any more wide receivers, so we're good on that. My next 3 picks have to be quarterback, running back, tight end.
All right. And it's coming on to you right now. So we saw a lot of quarterbacks coming off the board. It's probably getting pretty dry. Even at this point, quarterbacks, I guess maybe I could have looked at one beforehand. Maybe picked up the Jameis Winston pickup there. Oh,
back to back Detroit Lions.
Ryan,
this is not homerism. These are good.
Oh no! Oh no!
This is my boy TJ. Come on, I've been talking about him for how many podcasts in a row here? How many episodes?
My eyes.
My God, my pick, Deion Lewis went next. That was my.
Man,
he was gonna be my running back. But I'm gonna try to go maybe an upside running back with my next pick.
Yep. So I'm looking at the running backs that are left. We have Nyheim Hines.
There's your boy Jay Ajayi, man.
Jay Ajayi. Holy cow! I wouldn't even touch him with a 10-foot pole last year.
Ooh, this is I have seen a major sleeper that I missed out on. I can't even take him.
This is my guy, Chris Thompson, right here. Rex Burkhead coming in. Matt Breida. Ooh, Matt Breida possibly could be a starter. He had a torn pectoral.
It's a wild spot over there. Is he going to start over Coleman and McKinnon? I don't see it, dude.
I'm going to try and sneak Ryan's pick here because I'm like trying to read his mind. Wide receiver, I mean, Curtis Samuel. Oh my God, that's a good pick. No,
the wide receiver you want is MVS.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I can't take him. I'm full on receiver. You can't take him because you got Adams.
Yep. I mean, 11th round, I'm going to try and sneak Ryan's pick maybe. We're going to go there.
Oh, I was on him. He's one of the 2 I was going to take.
Okay. I picked up Jamal Williams, a guy that...
Good pick. I like it.
If Jones goes down, Jamal Williams is going to step up like he did last year, along with the running back by committee of them 2 throughout the season. You don't know what the Packers are going to do. New quarterback or new coach. I mean, it could be a new offense. So we'll take a look. I'm also going into my last 2 picks. So it's definitely going to be a quarterback and a tight end. And of course, look at these tight ends that are here. Trey Burton was a high pick last year. Jordan Reed is always a flyer, but he's
bounce back. Jimmy Graham, I truly believe he's going to have a decent year.
Jimmy Graham, you want to know who I wanted to pick was...
Trey Burton's all the way down there, dude. I would have taken him.
Where did... I even scrolled up a little bit. I'm going to take... Jack Doyle's here, too. I'm going to take Greg Olsen. He's coming back. He gets injured every year, but you're talking about a guy that... big body, Cam Newton. You still trust him. Of course... my quarterback gets picked right afterwards, Josh Allen.
Olsen's, oh my gosh, I didn't even know. He came back? I thought he had the Monday Night Football job, but he came back.
Yeah.
Okay. Where the hell was I?
The Olsen.
Oh, Josh Allen, my quarterback just got picked in front of me.
I debated it. I debated it. So let's look at me and Ryan are picking our quarterbacks here last week.
I can't take Stafford. That'll be 4 Lions. I'll fall in the pit of misery. So we're gonna go with different direction.
The homerism.
We're taking upside. Give me Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, he's a safe pick, Lamar Jackson. We're kind of getting at the bottom of the barrel, so a lot of people are.
I really wanted Josh Allen, dude. I thought you were taking him there because I know you were pretty high on, not high on him, but that was the guy you were targeting. I know that for sure.
Yeah, I really like Josh Allen
okay.
going next season.
On me. So I need a running back here.
Okay. Let me know what's up there in the 12th round, 13th round.
Yeah. So Duke Johnson's there. I know there's talks that they're going to keep this guy, and I think I could get 8 weeks out of him before Kareem Hunt comes back, and I could have him traded by then if he has good games. I could use him as a safety blanket. Should I think that way, or should I go a different direction? It's just the other guy I was maybe thinking about was Jalen Richard. I think he's a decent PPR guy, but he doesn't have that much upside though. I want this pick to be a potential upside pick where he could be a starter on a team.
I mean, like the Matt Breida.
Do you have any Matt Breida? I don't like it. I don't think he has a future there. I think Raheem Mostert is better than him.
It's kind of hard when you.
It's so close, but they're so stacked at receiver, dude.
For PPR, I mean,
it's hard.
Chris Thompson, Duke Johnson. I know Duke Johnson had that whole stint, but it's possible he plays. I guess I'm not sure on what you're thinking. My pick would be somewhere close to a Chris Thompson type role.
Chris Thompson just got taken though. That's what sucks.
He's still up there.
No, he just got taken 2 picks before. Oh, Chris Thompson, the receiver, got picked. Okay.
Yeah.
Chris Thompson, the running back, is here, and that wouldn't be too bad to pair him with Darius Geis and Justin. He doesn't affect Darius Geis though. Chris Thompson's his own guy.
Yep. I mean, what do you think about Rex Burkhead?
Nah, I'm gonna go with.
It's too crowded.
This pick shouldn't be that hard.
No, it should just be a throwaway. I mean, unless you think people are really gonna judge you by your round 13 pick for a running back.
In case, I'm gonna go
Gio Bernard.
I like it. You know, he could get some action out of the backfield.
Yeah, possible. And
if Mixon goes down, he's shown, like, even last year he had that 3 weeks in a row he was an RB1, 20 plus points.
And I want to talk to people. I'm in the 13th round, our last round here, and I just want to tell you the quarterbacks that are left. We have a lot of people, a lot of computers picking 2 quarterbacks. I mean, every team pretty much has 2 quarterbacks. I'm still in a 12-person league. I'm still looking at Dak Prescott, who can be a playable option.
Trubisky, Derek Carr can be solid. Matt Stafford is still there.
I mean, Derek Carr with Brown, Trubisky,
Marcus Mariota.
Look at these guys. I mean, you're not going. I mean, even Joe Flacco, and he. Trust me, people.
Serviceable.
This season we're going into, this next season, is like a dream season for quarterbacks where streaming quarterbacks.
Late.
Yes. Because I could pick up one of these guys. I could even not draft a quarterback the entire draft, and then in the free agency see where people land, and then pick up my quarterback. So I'm going to take Dak Prescott just because every year he's a solid quarterback. Nothing too special. And then if for some reason I want to switch it up and go to Derek Carr, let's say Derek Carr is lighting it up with Brown, I'll make an easy switch. Dak Prescott out, Derek Carr in, or Jamal Williams out, Derek Carr in. You know, you can make those easy switches. So, Ryan, since you drafted first, read the viewer, your team, and then I'll tell them the better team.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, should I just go straight down how I drafted them? Bunch them.
Let's bunch them. Let's start with your quarterback and then read out your wide receivers, running backs.
My quarterback is going to be Lamar Jackson. Big upside. I really like it. My running backs, pairing up at my running backs, are going to be James Conner and Kerryon Johnson, the dynamic duo. Okay. My wide receivers is DeAndre Hopkins, Julian Edelman, Jarvis Landry, and Allen Robinson is going to take the flex. Okay. Now my tight end is my boy, TJ Hawkinson. Massive upside. Trust me.
Oh,
now the bench, Golden Tate's on the bench. Marvin Jones is on the bench. Darius Geis is on the bench. Jalen Samuels is on the bench. and Giovanni Bernard, which is going to be the first drop.
Okay. And
I mean, Gio Bernard's literally the only guy on my team that I'm not confident in. I going into this, I was pretty rattled, but
you pushed through.
My team turned out pretty damn well, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. So,
all right. Well, week 1 when I play Ryan, my team, I went with quarterback. Last draft pick was Dak Prescott. What a steal! And then I'm going into my running backs.
Dak Prescott, the guy that's going to be handing the ball off a whole bunch.
And running the ball in the end zone. Okay.
Todd Gurley. Lamar Jackson is
two running backs, Todd Gurley and Lamar Miller. And then for my wide receivers, I got Devontae Adams, A.J. Green, Brandon Cooks. In my flex, I'll be flexing Sammy Watkins. And then for my tight end, second to last pick Greg Olsen. Possible upside, also a first drop to go get somebody else. Looking at the bench here, we have Latavius Murray, Jarrett McKinnon, and Jamal Williams for running backs. And then wide receivers on the bench are Cortland Sutton and Deshaun Jackson. So I feel like I have some great upside, just like Ryan has some great upside on the bench. I kind of went with the up-and-coming that we don't know about in Deshaun Jackson and Cortland Sutton, who could take a step in the right direction, along with Jarrett McKinnon. And then Jamal Williams could be an easy drop looking at the Packers starting lineup, first game of the season, what they're going to do for their offensive scheme running back. So as a Packer fan, I know Ryan, if Jones comes out and he's the workhorse, that's what we want to see. Jamal Williams still is an okay stash.
Hey, Williams has proved, honestly, I could see Williams being your RB2 in like week 4 because of injury concerns with Jones and Lamar Miller just not going to cut it. So Jamal Williams, definitely a late pick that could benefit you big time.
Yeah.
I do like your wide receivers, but your running backs are very, very scary to me. I just don't know if I would be confident going into the season like that. I would be looking to move Sammy Watkins after his first big game.
Let me talk about moving Todd Gurley after his first big game too.
That's 2 of them. Todd Gurley and Sammy Watkins. I believe you should even AJ Green. You got a nice trade block. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got guys. You got names all over the board here, and AJ Green and Todd Gurley. People are gonna want them. So I would. Todd Gurley comes out. I don't know if you want to trade Todd Gurley after a couple good games. That's what you drafted him for, to be that guy.
Yeah,
but
and how I look at
someone came along and offered you, say, Dalvin Cook and like James Washington, that's not enough. Dalvin Cook and I don't know, just another receiver. Yeah. I was kind of looking at the guy's team that had, but his receivers are pretty ass.
And what you want to look at
look
too?
Look at that team. Just call timeout.
Which team are we going to? What pick?
The 5th pick, man. What is he doing? He's doing 5
straight running backs. What a G.
This guy's receivers are Larry Fitzgerald, D.D. Westbrook, and James Washington.
With Marquise Brown on the bench.
I can't do this. He's got Drew Brees and Tom Brady, so he's going to trade one of them.
All right, I'm going to share this whole draft board in the comments. So let us know who won, what team you would rather have, and I am looking forward to doing more of these in the future. That's going to do it for our...
biased, Tyler, but just looking at these teams...
You're going to say mine, aren't you?
The best one, man.
Thank you. Hey,
no, me. I think
everyone. Ryan just said I have the best team.
I like number 12. Number 12's team's not bad. Juju Smith, Le'Veon Bell, Stephon Diggs, Aaron Jones, OJ Howard, Ronald Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Harry from New England. It's not a bad team.
No, not at all.
Still taking mine, then that one, then probably. Dude,
okay.
You've
said enough. You said enough.
I'm being honest,
I don't need your honesty. My honesty is I'm beating.
Can we get some comments on the YouTube, please?
Yes.
We need some for this one. We need some.
We'll do another one. We'll make a bet next time. All right,
man. You know, once we end this right here, we're gonna run another mock back. I think we have to.
All right. To close it out, make sure that you follow us. Look in the show notes. We got iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. Go to our YouTube to vote for this week's episode of our mock draft. You can see our Twitch handles for when we start doing it live. Twitter, as soon as the season starts rolling up, follow us on Twitter, and we're going to start tweeting out all the news, what our thoughts are. up to game time decision. Same with Twitch. Up to game time decision, we'll be streaming, talking about what we think. It's going to ramp up here. Right now, we're kind of doing one episode a week, kind of getting into the groove. And then as soon as next month rolls around, it's going to be like a part-time job. We're just here for the people. We're going to have our rankings for the people as the drafts start rolling in. Let us know in your questions, and please rate and subscribe to us. It's definitely going to reach out, help us get that motivation to keep doing more and more episodes, and we greatly appreciate it. It's going to help reach out to more people. So thank you. Thank you to just yesterday, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to Ryan.
Thanks,
and his little girl, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there and fathers that are taking care of maybe somebody who originally wasn't yours, but you stepped in. 100% Father's Day
You're
to
still
everybody.
that kid's dad, man.
That's like truly.
I mean, that's
what it is. You're still the father. So situations
well,
like that.
it's cool.
Thank you, everybody. And
yeah, man, this was fun, Tyler. This was a fun episode here. I like these mock drafts. Going battling against
it went a little bit late, but we had a lot of fun. And if you like them long, the longer episodes, or if you want us to cut it a little bit shorter, if you don't have this much time, let us know in the comments. It truly it'll help. So thank you very much to everybody, and have a great night.